goodness. Mm-mm. These coyotes is outside having a good time. They are having a good time. I know that's right. Happy Friday. I'm just sitting and sipping my coffee, bracing myself for some more snow. Well, it's really nothing to brace for. I'm gonna stay inside. I'm just gonna stay inside. You know what I'm saying? It was quite a few people that flipped their cars over and, was slipping and sliding. Good morning, Rabbit got the gun. You said wolves. Those are wolves. Grand Rising Pepper. You want some snow. So, I don't know. You know the crazy thing? I really don't mind it. I don't mind the idea of staying home, slowing down, and things of that nature. But it's like other people that aren't able to be cutting up. You know what they say? We have both in the area, and they say that they mate. They have mate. They had cross paths and got the hunching. Yeah. So I don't know what they are, but that's like like when you go inside the neighborhood app and people share like their little pictures and rain footage and stuff. Yeah, it is. Yeah. They basically share, their sightings or whatever. And this one, somebody shared the picture 4 hours ago. I'm pretty sure it was a recent sighting, but it was somebody else earlier this week that shared a picture of a pair of two as well. Did I take a screenshot of that one? Let me see. And I don't know what it is. It's like, I don't know. I guess I'd be excited to see them now. I don't know. But there they are. And then I like kind of read the captions that the people put in there. Like the people were talking about that they jumped their gate, and then that they were in their backyard, and then they talked about the direction that they headed into, and I was like, what? Ain't nobody got time for that. But I don't know. I've never seen a pair. So it's been 2 times that I've seen a pair now. Because they say it. So it could be the wolves. It could be the wolves. Um, but the crazy thing is nobody really noticed that they were in the area like that until all of the new construction. So yeah. Yeah, but I don't mind the slowing down. It's just people don't slow down and they can't slow down. And I don't know, some people need a timeout. They need a break. I enjoyed my break last week. I ain't gonna lie. Put their pets inside. They're gonna be dinner. Oh yeah, they already talking about it's a couple people that have said something on the thing about, they pet and stuff like that. But like I ain't trying to be funny. Like being on the app, it shows how irresponsible a lot of them are with their animals, because there's so many of them that are missing. But when you really start looking at it, they'll let them out unattended to go potty right quick, and then you don't see them. So you know, and they know the dangers. At this point, everybody know. what's going on when it comes to the wolf situation. Cause I ain't gonna lie, it's literally a den that I definitely know of. It's at least a mile away from me. Um, they let small dogs out by themselves real quick. Yeah, they let the small ones and the big ones out real quick by themselves, and they go, they go on an excursion. I see. Honestly, in this area, it's two little dogs that I see at least twice a week, and it's two of them, and they just be walking the area chilling. Oh yeah, I've been seeing some big birds lately. I ain't seen no eagles. Um, but generally, like if you see like hawks and eagles, it's normally like here that I've seen is like out in wooded areas. I don't really see them that often around here. And like I said, they doing so much construction and they've been tearing down a lot of, forests. So, they cold, they hungry, they lost, and then like certain times of the year, you know, they gotta go out there and get it out the mud. So they be all over the place. One of my neighbors owned three fowlings. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, now I be worried for the stray cats, if anything. Yeah, because I know they probably be out there scrapping with them and having to fight for their life. Um, but all up and down the feed, all I see is people. Oh my, have you seen this pet? Have you seen this pet? And I'm like, everybody dogs gone. So anyway, but I don't know. I look forward to it. It was pretty. Ours wasn't. We didn't have a lot. But the thing is, it was so cold, and then it was like freezing rain behind it. So we had more. It turned into ice on the road, so that was the bad part. He feed them. He let them go and fend for themselves sometimes, and blow a whistle for them to come back. Oh, that's neat. That's neat. That is so neat. But yeah, we just I don't know. Maybe like in the area that I know of. Again, like I said, I've seen foxes. You see a deer all the time. But the crazy thing is, with the, I guess you could say, eco chain or whatever, eco cycle, they supposed to come in and check the foxes. I haven't really seen any foxes on this side unless they done random, you know, it's a possibility that but no, they wouldn't be able to. They could run them further south because the coyotes, from my understanding, it's a possibility they came from further north. Because like, well, inland towards like past Richmond, there are a lot of sanctuaries and stuff like that. I see them all, and the more they build, they come stay in our backyards. Oh my gosh. What? I listen. It was so crazy because when we first started seeing people talk about it, they would just put like a passage. Oh, I see coyotes in this apartment complex near the dumpster. Oh, I seen them when I was getting in my car on my way to work. And I was like, girl, what they talking about? Man, when they started putting all them pictures and starting to see them walk up main roads like early in the morning on their way back, because they say that they'll go up to like 5 miles or or even more sometimes to, look for whatever they need and this and the third. So it was just like, to me, I was like, okay, this is not real. But baby, when they started putting them damn pictures with the words and in the areas and the locations, and then it was certain people was like, oh, they're just in that area because of that. And then when they see how far they actually go, those people be so shocked. Yeah, they gotta find food. So, you know, they have not nobody has said anything about them doing, hey Slim, nobody has said anything about them doing anything to humans, which is a great thing. And they say just basically, you know, shoo them away, and don't feed them, and let them, don't encourage them to hang out where you live and stuff like that. But it's to the point where this man, it was a video, and he was getting in the car with his infant, and all you can see is him looking and then grabbing the child and hurry up and come back towards the door. And it was one just trotting down the road, in the neighborhood. So yeah, that's basically what's going on. And the crazy thing is, they could have been, of course, they date back to like the 1950s, like first coming to the area, but the population definitely has grown. It has. And then we do have like some marsh areas. But the crazy thing is, in the last 10 years, it was so weird how they did it, but it was a whole area that was really, really big, and it was like nothing but for real marsh. And they actually took that area and put a whole well, two apartment complexes over there. So that's like one of the areas. And then there's another area where they built townhouses. So it's just a lot. That they've been doing a lot of construction. Storks with their babies. Oh, we have them. Oh, okay. So it's funny. Um, so I live further inland from the water, but I still live on a peninsula. Were they hiding at nighttime? I don't know. They have like certain, they will go and create like a little, well, it's definitely like areas that can be their dens. That's not far from here. The thing is, they probably had so many of them throughout the city, when they did disperse and go wherever they went, that disrupted their life a lot, because next thing you know, um that's no different than like when we go somewhere, we look like, oh my god, they got a whole new city over here. So they like, okay, well, where else can I go? But child, they around here just stealing all their little trees and stuff, and you know. But yeah, I see the stores like, so it's like a little, it's a few creeks like throughout the area, and I should have known something was up when it was certain times of the year that those storks will come all the way down to the side of the creek, and I'm like, hold on, do they know they in the hood? Child, kids man, they throwing rocks at them, throwing bread at them, and then really at that part of the creek, it ain't even really that much water. So sometimes, when the water rise, the creek, will come, it'll come down the creeks and stuff like that. But to see them down there, I was like, well, why they down here? Now it makes sense. They probably stayed down there and hid out. It was safer to be in the hood than down on the other end, because they were gonna eat them up. Oh yeah, they they are not scared. And this is the funny thing. I was watching a video on TikTok, and the lady she was in a major city, and she was walking her dog, and one literally seen her dog and say like she walking up the sidewalk, and the coyote was walking up the sidewalk, and then it came like this way and looked back at them, and her dog went ballistic, and then the coyote was looking at them like, and then it just trotted away like it wasn't scared. It was really thinking about shit. Your dog look good. Looking like you might want to take him in the house. That's how the so um cause he literally just stopped and looked at them like, so yeah, they ain't scared of nothing. But them storks, yeah, I could not. I was like, what is it? Cause it'd be like the little white birds, and then it'd be like cause it's another one that's gray and got real crazy looking hair. It looked real crazy. And they will always hide out on one side of the creek. And I used to be like, well, why is they all the way over here? It don't even make sense for them to be over here. But now, yeah, yeah, y'all don't see them. We got them all, girl. But the crazy thing is, we did not always have coyotes. We didn't know. I do not remember ever growing up talking about no damn coyotes. Or like, can't nobody tell me they weren't released. I don't care what nobody says, in my opinion. And then yeah, cranes. What's that? Let me look. Child, you don't have to look. And if it look like the bird, that might be the bird. Cause I'm not. You know what? I think I'm not. I didn't pay attention to a lot of the animals that were indigenous to this area. But I know coyotes want one. Huh? I know that much. I know they ain't got no business. In nobody dumpster. Oh, okay. We might have some of them too. Let me see. Yeah, those what they are. That's exactly what they are. I didn't know what they were. I've never really seen them fly or spread their wings or nothing. But they would just be sitting there looking real crazy. Like some of them be white. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. Let me see. Hold on. That makes sense. Yeah, Pepper. I don't never like. No, I ain't do nobody woods. I ain't never do nobody woods. But just even with like, and even with that, it's like it's crazy. And then again, we gotta also think about people have and we gotta think about technology. So like I said, I did go and look, and they said that generally, I think those are cranes. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, that's what they are. Let me look at the storks. Let me see, because they do favor like they cousins a little bit, but um, we didn't have those. Like, and I get it with technology. More people are able to catch pictures, videos, and things of that nature. But we did not. No, no, that wasn't a thing. I don't know. Wait a minute. I don't know. It might be Stokes too. They all look the same to me. But up in the yeah, so some of them they will be up in the creeks, like on the far end of the creek, like trying not to be on the other end, closer to the water. And then, after a few days or whatever, they'll go make their way back down and go, when it to me, I feel like when it's safe. Because I think now it makes sense that they will come get them. Now there has been it's been years though. I remember a black bear was in Newport News. It was and that was so weird because of the location. It was like on 39th Street. And I'm like, how the fuck did a bear, like, now that's for real. How did a bear get to the hood? So, and they had to, they definitely when they got that black bear. I want to say that had to be like 19. I mean, not 19. Um, that had to be like 7 or 8 years ago. That was a while ago, but it was like a whole big thing. Child, it was all on the news talking about it, and I was like, yeah, that was the big thing because I don't know how that black bear got here. I have no idea. It was truly a time in the city, but that was the first time we had, and then they had to tranquilize and then get it on up out of here and take it back. I said, well, why they don't come get these damn what's the name? Yeah, it was a black bear. I'll never forget it. It was on all the local stations. It was and when at the time of them trying to, get the bear, they was showing all the little footage and stuff. I was like, okay, it still was like too close to the hood. I said, let me find out somebody to let this bear out in the hood. Yeah, that's what I said. Be letting them loose. I was like, if I showed you the city of Newport News on a map, I'm about to show you. Hold on. It don't even make sense. I'm gonna show you. Now I know Pepper knows this. No, knows where this area is. It don't even make sense. It's like, hold on, let me show the. I'm trying to get a good. Um, it don't even make sense. Like that's what I'm saying. Ain't nobody telling me. I can't find a good map. All right, let me see if I can use this. Okay. Oh no, that's too blurry. We can't do that. I ain't gonna be able to see that. Oh, there you go. Okay. Okay. Now, this blue area down here, all the way at the tip, where this long piece right here, that's Newport News. All of this is a peninsula. Okay. That's Hampton over there. It's just all this is a whole. Let me make sure. Yeah, that's Newport News. That's Hampton. Okay. Down here is like Virginia Beach and stuff like that. And then you go further out like this, that's more inland, like where, more rural areas and things of that nature. You go further up like that. It makes no sense. How they get right here and then all the way down here. For that, if It would have had to come from down here. It's water. With this big, that's what I'm saying, Pepper. That's what I'm saying. You are further north. That makes sense for you. But for it to have traveled that far, but even if it traveled, listen, Rabbit got the gun. It had to come from up there, or it had to come from down here. We have bodies of water that. Well, let me show. Let me show you. Hold up, hold up. Um, this is the thing with me having. Okay, I'm gonna show you an aerial view of the bridge that I take, the one that I take to go get the fabric. I'm gonna give you an example. Was people feeding the bear and the bear just hid out sometimes? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, it had to be out there for a long time. Like how? Like how, Sway? Okay, this is a picture of the bridge that I have to get on to go get fabric. No, that's not the right one. Oh, yes, it is. Because it's more than one. Now, mind you, we have more than one. Just to leave here, unless I'm going further north, like towards Richmond somewhere, I don't have to worry about a tunnel. Anything else on this peninsula, it's a body of water that you have to cross. So I'm like, how? Did I'm trying to think, is this the right one? Yeah, this is the right one. This is the HRBT. But do you see the water there? You going underwater as well. This is a lot of water, is what I'm saying to you. This is just the bridge that goes from the bottom over to the naval base. Okay? That's just a portion of it. It's not really that long. I mean, I guess because I don't wrote it so much. Now go back to the picture. It's no. It had to come from like north. That's the only way. Okay, let me go here. What's this? No, that ain't it. But basically, it's a lot of bridges and roads you have to cross. Excuse me, just to get to the other side. How did the bear get over here? But anyway, so that's the worst we had seen, a black bear. And then you know what? Now that I think about some things, remember when they had that remember when they had that Tiger King series? And okay, so even I'm gonna go back to the map. So to come down here, there's a bridge. To go that way, there's a bridge. To get over here, there's a bridge. Like how? A cabin for that bear and kept it as a what? There you go. I was getting ready to go there. See, you was right here with me. Remember when they had that Tiger King series? Ever since then, though, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, well, why they ain't come get it? Why they ain't come get it? If they wanted to, the bear, child. That's why I said y'all ain't telling me nothing. These people are keeping these things as wild animals, and when they can no longer deal with them and they scared of them, they let them go. I ain't lying, baby. Let me tell you something. Oh shoot, let me move my leg. My leg cramping up. They can talk about Joe all they want. Joe was the man in them streets with them wild animals. But one thing I can say, I could never do it. I could never do it. The bear was camping and eating with them. They had to be. That's why I said it reminds me. When I thought about it, I said, hold up. Where did this bear come from? Like all of a sudden, yeah. Ain't nobody telling me no different. That's just like, and I get that the coyotes had a little bit more time, a little, to have babies and acclimate to the area and things of that nature. And again, at one point in time, they had way more areas to hide. They don't have any of that anymore. So now they talking about the snow, y'all. Okay, so it's supposed to snow 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. You know what? I ain't fooling with these people. And then y'all heard about in Richmond where the people ain't got no water. They didn't cut the water off. But the way that the people explained it, they said it was a temporary point in time, like when the pump or whatever the thing went out, and then what I'm saying. I guess basically causing it not to function properly. But I can understand if they put it on hold for a little while. Them people said they had no water all week. And the crazy thing is, when it snowed last week, I went and put me some water to the side. I had some how you get that gallon containers with the handle at the top. And someone told me, girl, just go ahead and put some water in them, put them on the side. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. And see, also I have a water, like a filtration one that you use, just for your drinking water. So I said, okay, well, this would be great to put these to the side just in case I had to use it, and it was my only source of water. And then if I needed these jugs, just putting it up because I ain't gonna lie, a lot of these places around here, they old and cold, and it's always a possibility to having issues with the pipes. But when they said all that stuff in Richmond, realistically, I'm not surprised. It's the capital. I'm pretty sure their waterways is really, really worn down like a lot of other folks' major cities. So, yeah, but the people said they was riding 45 minutes away to try to get water. I said, well, what about the people that can't drive 45 minutes away? I don't know. But I went and got me some extra water, and I got my little side waters. And honestly, I don't even have to leave until this stuff. I don't know. I ain't got no chips. I gotta give me some chips. I don't have to. I mean, I got everything I need. I would do a snack run, but I don't even need to do that, girl. My big ass don't need to go out there and get those snacks. Yeah, and it was. I'm glad it was like people going out there. It was so sad. One lady had some groceries delivered to her, and the person had stole her water. It was a gallon of water outside her door, and somebody had stole the water. That's what she claimed. But and one good thing I can say, for the most part, Virginia, they ain't stingy. They will go ahead. I'm pretty sure they already dropping the little stuff down on the road. They did that last week. That is generally a good thing that is in the budget. So I can say that the Sam's and stocked up. I got the strawberry champagne. Oh, that sound good. Oh, champagne popcorn. Look, champagne speaking my language. But you know what? I just had a guy friend. You know what? It's sad because when it comes to drinking, don't get me wrong, I love me some champagne. That's my thing. And when I every time I think about alcohol, I think about people that pass away that used to drink a lot, and some of the things they experience, some of the things they have to say. So one person said that they wish they would have more than drank. And I was like intrigued. I was intrigued. I'm not gonna lie. This is, a person that raised me. And I seen the effects. And then I had a I had got a message the other week that one of my friends passed, and he's like in his 40s. He was in his 40s. And the first thing I thought about, I was like, oh, he used to drink a lot. Like he used to drink a lot when we was in our 20s. If I seen him every now and then, he looked like he had been. So I don't know. I guess I kind of been. But I'm gonna grab me a champagne every now and then. But I just had to make sure it wasn't um, a part of my everyday life. Yeah, yeah. I was just shocked. Well, I wasn't. Well, I was shocked. I don't know. I don't know their. That was the first thing that came to my mind when he said that person had passed, especially when they were drinking it straight. Oh yeah, I had a person in my life, uh, daily. Wine is a little different, in my opinion, because like I said, it was the person that told me that they would have more. They was a straight drinker, baby. I'm talking about hole in the wall juke joint. They drank anything straight. It was never given a chase. No, 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 no. Ain't no chase involved. And I always thought about that. I said, in my mind, I'm like, girl, you know. And so what I did, I just basically was more mindful of the ones that I would drink and how I would feel afterwards. Period. Slim. You gotta have a balance. You gotta have a balance. So yeah, it's like, and I don't even remember what this guy used to drink because it been years ago. But I know but he was a heavy, like, it was not a game. It was not a game. Yeah, he would like literally fall asleep all the time, like just talking on the phone. He just every time they call him, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't even gonna say that. But may he rest in peace. I'm gonna leave that alone. But mm-hmm, not the student removed for having a child. I'm looking at the news in the distance as going on. It's live. Yes, indeed. But yeah, I don't have a lot to go get, but I just I have everything I need for real, for real. All right, Vic got his coaching position. You go ahead on NSU. I hope they run it up and they do some big things at NSU. You better coach that football anyway. Back to what I was saying. Girl, I was just random. I didn't have coffee yesterday, so I'm enjoying having coffee today. I had some tea, but this is what I do need to do. I need to take my ooh, what's that? I'm gonna take my little Gengiko Bilobo so I can get focused. Yesterday I went and I went and pre-cut a lot of well not a lot, but some masks. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and sew them up today, and then I already have quite a few, so I'm gonna just put all of them up, and I don't know. I'm just kind of taking it easy. I am glad for him. You know what? It's like, you know, watching people come from where you come from, make it big. And you know what's so sad and unfortunate about that, you know what, situation, um, yes, bar. Down to the bar at the house. That's the best place to be. You ain't got to worry about getting on the road and nothing like that. I need to open my blinds. I'm sitting here trying to look through the blinds and they closed. But yeah, it was really unfortunate. In my opinion, I feel like it was easy to go after the person that had the most money. Um and not only that, the sad part is where I'm from, that is that is one of the things a lot of the guys do. That's one of the things a lot of the guys do. You may have to use some of this liquor. Fine. I hope not. I hope not. I hope it don't come to that. But yeah, it's, I feel like, and then, it didn't help that they basically, one of his own people probably, word on the curb, one of his own people told it all. And I'm just glad he was able to bounce back and continue to have a great career. And then to do something that, it's like, if I had to describe him getting that position, it was like, because he's always been gifted with throwing that ball back when he was at Ward High School. Yes, him and my brother the same age. Yeah, they the same age. They went to Ward together. Um, Throwing that football. And that's what they did, back in the hood when we ain't had nothing. We were down on Taylor Avenue, baby. I tell the story in the number streets. And the boys played football. They went down, baby. They went down to Doris Miller. That's where everybody played football at in the, back in the hood. That's all. That's all they had. That's all they kind of pushed them towards as well. But they played football. They played different sports, but football was the thing, and he was just great at it. And it's a blessing to be able to go to school and do what you're good at, get paid eventually to do what you're good at. And then, when all that stuff, it was just like, how everybody can't go with you. That was one of the situations he probably had to ultimately learn in that struggle. But being gifted in how in the physical aspect, but having that I guess you could say that visual aspect and the full understanding of how to play that game and how to do that thing, baby. It's one thing to watch on the sideline, but to be a player and know how to orchestrate and do everything the way you need to do, and the expertise, you can't get it anywhere. So I'm just glad that he got an opportunity. And you know what? The crazy thing is, one thing I can say, and I've said it a lot of times about opportunities in the area. You don't really get many of those here from people you know. But the fact that he did not go to a HBCU And I'm a proud graduate of Norfolk State University. I'm happy that they opened that opportunity up for him. I'm glad they did not judge. It's easy to judge people. And I know it was tough to come up out of that because these folks don't play about them animals. They don't like they rather us be toe back, than the animals. So, and then they have certain laws. In my opinion, I feel like they have more laws and protection than people. And, hey, that's their thing. Cause baby, they around here telling us, child, the coyotes can be here too. Shout out to VSU, yes, period. And it's like it's a beautiful thing. And this is the other side of the coin. I'ma say, I know he never thought in a million years he would have to or want to have to work and be in the area he from. But sometimes that's how it's designed. Because now that I'm looking, I'm starting to see a lot of the guys that played football, either they come in as businessmen, but this one actually came in as a coach for a university. And this is major. This is major for Norfolk State. It's major because we have Hampton University, which is like a private institution. It's considered, I think it's considered a HBCU, but it's a private HBCU. See, Norfolk State has always had, that hood stigma. And it is. I love it. But then again, you got some, major people. Exactly, everyone. Yeah. Yeah, jealousy is real. But yeah, I'm just like when I first seen, they was like, "Oh, he's over there talking with them." And I was like, "What they talking about?" I'm being nosy. And it's crazy because like my mama got on the phone. You would have thought that was her child. But she was just so happy for him. She was, it's crazy. And my mama grew up with his mama, and his auntie is one of his aunties is still a vice mayor over there. Let me shut up. I ain't gonna say that about her. But yes, she's the vice mayor over there, in the city that, we all grew up in. But I just hope, he's welcome with open arms, across the board. Because generally in SU, what you see is what you see in front of this screen. Those are the major people for the most part that are over at the university. Um, I had a few African professors, but for the most part, it was us over there, and I'm happy for them. But it's a difference in being able to cope. I think when a lot of people they come out and become businessmen, I really don't think that's what they really want to do. I feel like that's the best financial decision because everybody is not supposed to be a businessman, and everybody is not supposed to be over no tile shops and buying sections of the city and overpricing things. I really feel like he's always found a way to give back at some point in time, even if it's once a year or whatever. But I think this is a major way. So you think about the young men that are coming out of the high schools and stuff. Baby, they be gonna come, they gonna be tearing up trying to get into NSU. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing, that same recreation center that I said all the people, all the young people like the Michael Vicks, the Aaron Brooks, and things of that nature, they tore that down. They tore it down recently, along with the middle school in the hood that everybody kind of went to. It's really sad because they misled the people. First of all, they intentionally did not keep the building up to the point where they had to go ahead and start moving the students to other schools. And then they misled the people and had the people think that they was gonna rebuild it. And then they turned around and knocked it down. The majority of it. It's like that whole area they bulldozed because they already had a plan for it. So basically, essentially, they sold the city. I'm just glad he wasn't a part of the city selling part. I am glad that he was able to use his gifts and talents to secure the next season of his life and contribute to the community close to where he's from. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about that. A lot of the other people chose the other end. They chose to um I ain't gonna get into that. But it's a beautiful thing to be able to use your gifts and talents to help other people's lives. And it's needed to have good influences and role models like that. I would like to see AI teach basketball. I do. I would like to see Allen Iverson get an opportunity at one of these schools. I really would. Um, I really don't get to see, like, now that I'm really thinking about it. Anyway, I ain't finished my coffee yet. What's next? Oh, you know what? I'm not on FB. I know if I was on FB, I would have got all the tea about that pastor. About pastor. What's his name? I had pulled his name up somewhere. But you know the funny thing about that situation as well. So the pastor up the road named what is his name? I don't know his name. Anyway, the church is called True Vine Apostolic Church of Christ. Now, mind you, that church had a name change. I don't know the I don't know the old name. But basically, a young lady in that church. Enjoy your weekend, Slim. Oh, got well, she's pregnant, right? And he thought it was a good idea. Somebody thought it was a good idea for her to go up there and say, that she's pregnant and she apologized to the church. And I get it. A lot of churches, the pastor is considered a lot of people's spiritual father. But some people go a little too far with that spiritual father situation, uh, role. And when I seen that, I was like, "What? What?" That's what the deacons require in order to get your baby baptized later when you're not married. And what religion? I'm just asking because this is the thing. I've been a part of churches, and now I'm starting to think about. my experiences there. I didn't know they did things like this. Ricky Smiley said he made his sister do it too. What? Oh, Baptist. I guess maybe because I already had my kids when I was a part of a Baptist church. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Bradley got the gun. That was the main reason why I told that girl. Like, I don't know how old she is, but her mom was basically raised there, and her mom is okay with what happened. This is my problem. It's viral. That's my problem because she's a young person, and even though she made, her decision to, whatever went on, you were streaming live. Like, that's my problem. Like, you can't undo that. She still has to go to school. She still has to show her face. And on top of that, if people already know who her mama is on Facebook, we know who the child is. That's not fair to her. That's not okay. So let me finish. Um Now, I mean, it makes sense. So as an adult in a Baptist church setting, I guess you can look at it as a, unwed mother. And I was a part of a church, right? And it was so weird because, like, so first of all, I went to that church because my stepdad was like a member of this church, and this church had been around for a very long time. His parents were members. And when I was going with him, he probably was in his late 60s. So that's how long of a connection they had with that church. So when I got in there, after a while, I'm just started looking around like these people, like something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? I kept going, baby. I should have stopped a long time ago. But anyway, I guess to go through it to see it is to be able to share your experiences. So that was one of the things. And it's sad how they treat people that's like treating somebody less than because of something. My thing is this: how does the mother get to fall asleep at the wheel of being a fucking parent, it's to for it to roll over into the church, and for them to sit there and pop their ears talking about something she should not have no baby shower, and none of y'all should go, and the church ain't about to. What kind of wide hip behavior is that? Baptists never knew about this because a lot of us would have been up there. That's what I'm saying. Like, it would have been Pepper, Pepper. My folks step different. Like, even with it, even if I go right now, because my mom has been a long time member of a certain church in Newport News. If I go pull up in there and I'm single and I got my daughter, ain't nobody gonna step out of pocket to me because they already see who I come from. So those people did not step out of a pocket because they knew who I came from and they seen my stepdaddy and they had those connections, but at the same time they really ain't fool with me like that. I ain't fool with them either because they would just like be real passively nasty to me. I feel if you didn't help me get in, I'm not asking y'all for nothing. Right. That's why I'm getting at it too. So exactly, Ricky said he went off on his parents. That's what I don't understand. Like, how do you? And I get it, like the body of Christ. And see, some people, but it's a segue to have conversations that people never really had an opportunity to have. Because if you think about it, in the body of Christ, they feel like everything that happens within there, it affects the whole congregation. It does. But my thing is this: while he was popping his ish and running his mouth, if you really pay attention, your body as it's only as effective, if the head is intact. Sir, you are a part of the head of the organization. And like I said, he ain't always lived no straight and narrow life. His wife ain't, you know what I'm saying? That's why I say these sneaking and freaking people, they get on my nerves. So this brought me to, remind me of the church I was at. And the church I was at is like literally not even 2 miles from that one. And when I was making my TikTok video, I was like, ooh, I was close to going back in on that other pastor. I said, but I'm good and I ain't got to really go there. So I ain't got to go there and talk about that man and his foolishness. The world got to see him. Baby, let me tell you something. I didn't even have to expose that man. That man, after going to that church, and the people were so nasty. They were so nasty. And it was to the point where it was like they did like they did not want me there. And I was like, well, you know what? I've been put out of way worse places. Let me get my ass on before I have to put hands on somebody. Because apparently these old women don't know how to talk to people. Them and their mustaches is about to get the business. But all of them wasn't like that. It was just a few. It was just a few. And I was cool with that. Because honestly, it really, it is what it is. So that man, girl, when I tell you, it's about to be some furniture moving, Pepper. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time for that. Y'all got me. And then, you know what I'm saying? One was so nasty. She was being nasty to me in front of my kids. You know how much restraint that takes? To let another grown woman that don't even know me play with me. But I'm gonna tell you something. When I left there, a lot of them. This is the ideology, and I had to really, really fall back and think about it. If you are in their minds, if you ain't married, you looking for a man. I'm being honest because this is the thought of the society, and it's okay. Yeah, it was about to go down rapid. Girl, I was like, listen, I ain't, and this is the thing. So in their mind, and then I had to really pay attention to a lot of the foolishness that have gone on in that organization. Let me stretch my legs. In their organization, as it relates to fooling around and sneaking and freaking. So I had to really pay attention. Girl, it was so much that had already went on up in there. I just messed around and walked up in some wild stuff that ain't having to do with me. But what you not gonna do is try to make it seem like I'm in it. Baby, I don't want your husband. I don't want your deacon. I don't want none of that. Okay? So one of the deacons. Okay. Let me go back. Let me go back. In my opinion, there were a lot of deacons and deaconesses on the DL. This is another crazy thing. One of the deacons was in there, and he was an older man. At some point in his life, he had a daughter with one of the church members. And I'm pretty sure he was already married because he was not with that woman. And her daughter was an adult at that point. There you go, Pepper. It was, I was like, let me bring it in. Let me bring it in. Because if you see me out in public now, it's hey. But when I was there, y'all looking at me, I don't want them. But let's talk about it. This is experienced in these Hampton churches, baby. Let me tell you, girl, we gonna get into it. We gonna get into it. I'm gonna make Pepper. I'm gonna make your work day fun, girl. Cause you gonna be snowed in this weekend. It's gonna be amazing. So he had this daughter by this lady, and the lady she was singing in the choir. She was so sweet, but you can tell there was a little bit of it was a little bit of delinquency, but she was real functional. You know what I'm saying? It was something not right about her. I don't know if it, I don't know. I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna leave that there. But she was sweet as gold. She was very nice. She sang, she praised, and she did all of the things. And one thing I could say, it took a lot of courage and strength to still stay in the same church after all these years because her, like I said, her daughter was. And then when I looked at her daughter, girl, I know you know. We gonna have to get on the Zoom, child. We gonna have to get on StreamYard or something while we snowed in this weekend because this gonna be good. So the daughter, she was a really nice young lady. She was, I want to say she was in school, and she favored. See, it was certain qualities, like characteristics of that deacon. He was a light, fair skinned man. I think he had gray eyes or something like that. I had to pick it up. I had to pick the tea up myself. Yeah. So I'm looking at him and I'm looking at her. I said, that's her daddy. I said, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? After a while, you sitting there like, oh, you putting it together. And they knew I was not slow. And that was another reason why they didn't want my ass there. Because I wasn't slow enough to sit there and participate and keep them damn secrets with their asses. You know what I'm saying? I'm not welcomed in your organization, baby. I'm fine. I was here with my peoples. But anyway, so as time went on, the crazy thing is the deacon's son, that I'm pretty sure he had, was married to his mama. I didn't even realize that I used to work with him at a job prior to me going to this church. So when I would see him at the church, I'm like, oh my God. Hey, stepping into my purpose. How you doing? Okay, you know what? I had shared it on my community. I don't know what's going on, but I'm glad you're here. So I was working with the guy, and again, I didn't know that, and he was a little awkward too, cause he had kids with a real younger lady. It was some he would always flirt with me, but I would always curve, swerve, and curve. I wouldn't think about him like that. But anyway, he's a deacon now because his daddy used to be. See, that's how I roll. That's how I go in them churches. You get in through relation. So basically, he is a deacon now, and I was shocked. I was like, he a deacon, cause he barely went to church when I used to go. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe he got it together and start. He had to step up when his daddy left, cause I'm pretty sure his daddy ain't no deacon no more. This daddy was real old. And the guy was older than me too. So, And I was like, and then it was so crazy to me how the lady stayed there. After she had the baby by the deacon. And then she brought her daughter there. And her daughter grown now. And then her daughter ended up having a baby. And then brought the grandbaby there. I said, this some bullshit here. Y'all got to listen. It was crazy to me. So I already seen what type of time they was on. When I first started going to that church, it was like 2 kids there. That told me they never had no kids program. They did not invest in the children. And people didn't want to bring their goddamn kids there. Yeah, it was 2 kids. And they was some kin they was the lady that brought her kids there, she was a teacher. And her parents was the member at that church. So as time went on, I ended up meeting. The funny thing is, my cousins, best friend family is, members there and was from that church. This is crazy how I was able to see all this, y'all. And it just all fell into place. So the cousin, I mean the young lady that I met, she's very nice, whatever. She got, I think she went to Hampton University recently, got, I think she got a PhD a couple years ago in elementary education. But she would not dare step foot in that church. Now her grandparents were faithful members. So then you got to think about her parents and then with her. At some point in time, she was like, "Baby, I ain't never heard of her taking her. Hey, Dean, love, how you doing?" I had never seen her take her kids there either. So I was like, "Damn." And this lady, she was, she was a successful businesswoman. She got more than one location, and she would not take her kids to that church. And I was like, "Well, all y'all folks from this church, so all you got to do is walk in, baby. You're going to be a deacon if you wanted to." But it was just like nobody really wanted to be bothered with that church. It was like a plague. I promise you. It was so crazy to me. But anyway, again, like I said, as time went on, it got worse. And they had got a new pastor. And so the new pastor, when he came in, he was, trying to make different changes. First of all, let me go back. Another thing, it was important for me to watch the dynamic of how they conduct business as a nonprofit, because at that time I wasn't studying nonprofits, but I was trying to see like how it works in a organization as far as a church. They was terrible. Like they literally had handpicked everybody that they wanted on what board. And say if it's 5 people, I'm just gonna say 5 people. Every board that they created in that organization, those same 5 people oversaw all that. I was like, what? Oh, this is some why. And then, I was like, any organization has the right to do that, because you set your bylaws up, you can select who you want. I said, okay, this shit here different. Okay. So I'm sitting paying attention. And it was this one specific guy. He had left and he wasn't coming to the meetings no more. I guess, he had a disagreement with somebody. They had a whole meeting and told him, oh, and they went ahead and just was like, oh, he can have his seat back. I said, this man left and abandoned his seat. Why would y'all not go ahead and fill it? They left that seat open, waiting for that specific man. When I tell you, it taught me so much. How jacked up. And it's sad because even if you are running it like a business, you got a whole bunch of people that don't understand business and ain't business minded at all. You got a whole bunch of workers trying to run a business. I said, this shit is crazy. So it was some type of bull. I think it was some type of, it was weird because like say like if they had certain meetings, and all the members are, as long as you a member, um and all that day, I was a member. I had, all that. So I go in there, everybody looking at me like, what's she doing? I promise y'all, everybody looked at me, but they wouldn't say it. They wouldn't say it. But when they started discussing certain things, they would start trying to be funny. So from that point on, I was like, you know what? They right. I ain't got nothing and nothing. So much so, those same 5 people were able to override the pastor, because that's just basically how it goes. So then you look at the pastor, he got to play along and do what they want them to do, because if not, they have the authority to, decide on if they want to keep him. And then And then he don't want to lose this position because this position opens up opportunities to him throughout the community. See, he was a little country boy from a small town in North Carolina that never thought he'd make it. Yeah, he went into the military. He did a little something for himself, but this opened up connections for him because he was in a little small church. This church got a little over a couple hundred people, so he made it in the world. This is an opportunity for him to plateau and get into different organizations and to mix and mingle and open up his pockets. So basically that's what happened. And it got so crazy. um Basically they owned a property, and the property was being rented to somebody that I know. And so what happened was, it basically created a conflict of interest with me because I was a member, and also I had looked out for the person that I know when it came to the property. So it was certain things that they would not do to that property. And so I started putting things in writing for the people, and I started pulling up the codes and stuff for the state and all that, and but woo, 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 woo. And they ain't like them letters. So they really start acting funny. Then I was like, well, shit, how you mad at me? I'm helping them. Y'all supposed to have somebody in place that know about being y'all. Well, y'all need to get a property management team to handle this, because if the church can't take care of it, y'all was fine when y'all accepted this property from this lady that ain't had no children. She left her property to the church, which I still. She ain't had no niece, no cousin, nobody. Okay, the church ended up with it. Yeah, I was doing what I was supposed to do, because this person did not really. They was trying to get things done, but they was what I'm saying. You got to put it in black and white. That way you can hold them accountable. Okay, I gave it to them this day. 30 days and passed. They ain't did this. You know what I'm saying? It was like that. So they got mad, and then after a while, the pastor started getting mad. He had an attitude with me because what happened was, when he came in, I called a meeting with him. And I guess he looking like, who the fuck she thinks she is to call a meeting with the pastor? I'm me. So I went in there and I had my little note cards together, and I just discussed some points, as it relates to that property for him. And I'm like, look, I'm helping them for real, because anybody could have went down to the codes of compliance. Anybody could have went and just opened a lawsuit, put the money in escrow. It could have been a lot. I don't know how he took it. And it might have been a lot for him to be like, damn, this ain't, what I'm saying, we need to go ahead and find somebody that, whatever. So anyway, I ended up leaving the church because I was just like, you know what? Um, this is just four walls. This is just four walls. And I get it. You are not confined to this raggedy place, and you are not confined to these raggedy people, Lord. I get it. It's time for me to go. And I ain't had no raggedy bag, baby. I keep duffels with matching pieces. So I packed my bag and went on by my business. So the person that I know, they continue to stay in the house or whatever the case may be. Um, it was a couple. So it ain't really get activated until one of the couple one part of the couple passed on. So then they started trying to give the spouse HE double hockey sticks. So much so, they told the person, now this is the property that the church owned and they managed at the time as well, because they never had like a management company or anybody that really, really probably like I don't know, the people could have had their own real estate, but they was just real raggedy when they did it. So they came in and asked the lady, they came in and said, "Oh, okay, well, we gonna do some repairs, whatever, whatever." Um, Basically, they was gonna rent it back to her because she had been paying us like I'm gonna say $900 all them years they stayed there. But what ended up happening was they was gonna increase. This is when everybody was increasing their property. So around this time, they wanted $1,500 for this place. The place was not worth that kind of money, but they went in and what they basically told her because they had this lady coming in to handle the business or whatever. I think she like the treasurer or something of the church, whoever she was. So she said, okay, well, you go ahead and go for 30 days. She was like, well, what I'm gonna do? Like, so, so then I guess, well, she sat down with the people, the renter sat down with the people, and they came with the pastor and came to the conclusion that they was gonna go ahead and get her a part to put on the property to go ahead and put some of her stuff in there. Cause like, you know, that would have been a lot for her to do, especially if she moving right back in 30 days. I told that lady, I said, they're not gonna let you move back in. That's the way to get you out of there. You know what I'm saying? So they can, what I'm saying? People, if they intentionally did not do a whole new lease with her because they knew that was their way out. So as time went on, they started to put people in place to teach them the ropes on how to get her out of there. They had already planned what they wanted to do in one of those meetings because it no longer benefited them. And not only that, her spouse was a member of that church. She never really got into the scene of that church because of how they act. So basically, because he was no longer around and they thought they can do what they want to do, it was so bad that myself and somebody else helped her arrange, a U-Haul, a crew to move her stuff out, whatever the case may be, right? On a Sunday, the treasurer, this same lady, because I met her, she had to have rolled past there on her way to church. I was like, let me find out they do this on a regular basis. And then not only that, they might have been doing it because, the time was a ticking for them 30 days. So she rolled past and then on her way back, she stopped when she seen the U-Haul. And she was like, what's going on here? I looked at her, I said, you here to help? No, I'm the treasurer. Of what? At the church. I said, well, this ain't the church. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at her like that. I don't give a fuck about, like, I was, excuse my language, y'all. Y'all done heard worse. But at that point, I was so far removed from that church, I could care less about a position, whatever they was appointed to do for free or for backhand. I did not care. We was, helping this, this is a lot. This lady lost her husband. And within years, y'all playing games with her because y'all don't want her to live there no more. Do you know after that lady moved, like, okay, so this is what happened. Because, not because of what I said, not because of what transpired between her and the tenant, she used the fact that she was talking crazy to me and I started talking crazy to her, but I gave it to her without a curse word. Baby, I worked her. And I took the dictionary with me. And so she went back and then she told the people, she said, oh, well, we gonna terminate our agreement. What agreement? The person don't have a lease, no way. What do you mean? So basically they went and said that the person could not move back in. You didn't want them to move in the first place. Because I don't understand how were you so disturbed that it was a U-Haul but you have yet to sit that pod on that property at the way you agreed. So you thought that um you thought you was gonna surprise that person and put them out. You thought you was gonna surprise that person. You thought they ain't had no money, no resources, and ain't had no reinforcement. Muffin, clock it. See, you don't have to be in four walls of a church for God to speak to you and have you move. Anyway, I told her, I said, they never wanted to, they did not renew a lease for a reason. They didn't want you there. They wanted to make it easy to put you out. That's what a lot of people were doing at that time. They was just basically, okay. And with you being in that month to month category, all they got to do is give you a 30-day notice when they're ready for you to go. That's basically what happened. But they tried to play a little game with it, like they was gonna give her a pod, but they never did it anyway. So because of what I said, not because of her, then okay, that's fine. The lady had to make more, other preparations. She had to figure it out. They collectively, no, this same lady, I wish I could find her name. I'm pretty sure I got a paper somewhere with her name left on it. This is a church now in the same vicinity. This is how these pastors work. She went, no, she told the person they couldn't get their deposit back. It wasn't a deposit. First it was acknowledged that it was a deposit. This is the crazy thing. They thought that they can run game on that lady. That lady pulled out all her documentation. That's why, you know what I'm saying? And on one of those documents, she showed me deposit, and she showed a initial from that treasurer. What she showed me that for? Baby, I went to work on her ass like a part-time job. I want to embarrass the fuck out of that goddamn church. Baby, let me tell you what I took my ass down there and did. Baby, I done went and found the list of every fucking board member that they had. Now, mind you, these board members that they have are prominent business owners and people that are tied to that church that have been there for a very long time. I had no idea who all these people, I didn't know who all these names belong to. Baby, I went and wrote a long letter with citations, everything. Baby, it was probably a 4-page letter. Okay? The rundown, the lady name, what she did. I even put a copy in there of that piece of the lease where her name was up there and that initial from that. I'm the treasurer. Baby, they hurry up and cut that lady a check. They hurry up and cut that lady a check. Because you mean to tell me this church pressed over $900? There's no way. When you had bought the people that donate to that church, I'm talking about it was it's a black funeral business owner down there. I didn't even know he was a board member. He was the same person that buried that woman's husband. So imagine him getting a certified copy down to his job, business, home, whatever. And not even to name the other people. Anyway, they gave her $900. That lady wanted to be so nasty and petty, but you did not own up to your bargain. Part of the bargain. I'm just saying that was just an example of the pastor. So again, if that's how the body operates, but then you want to bring this girl up here and embarrass her, I'm gonna need her to start a podcast so she can tell us about y'all. and what y'all shortcomings. That's all I want to know. But anyway, baby, I said there, it is no way. It's no way. They can't play with me like that. They was like, you know what? We not gonna mess with this lady here. She a little off, and he is. But yeah, that's basically how they roll. And like I said, if I was on FB, I'm pretty sure it's plenty of people that are in there that can fill in the gap and tell everything they go on in there every week. But I'm glad that oh, and speaking of this, the pastor of the church I was talking about, the man that came in, the Black Lives Matter 757, Jafari Jones, he went into his church as well and asked him a question, and that man did not like what he liked that he asked the question, and he had him put out of his church. The same way that man came to him and asked him man to man about him embarrassing that girl online, he put him out of his church. It's the sickness of these people really feeling like they can play God in somebody's life. Ain't got no heaven or hell to put nobody in. Hey, Reba, it's just crazy. Like I said, that man, he ain't got no heaven or hell to put nobody in, but want to judge somebody. So yeah, these churches something else. But I'm glad Jafar went and pulled up on that man and told him about his soul. That man put him out of that church so fast. But I'm telling you, the yeah, that church and the church that I used to go to is like right up, not too far, maybe a mile or two away from each other. So these people have meetings together. They have them Saturday morning brunches, and child, they go to each other church all the time. They go to these conventions together, lie, and all that. So let's get into the pastor. So pastor of that church that I was going to, the one that they brought in, I ain't gonna call his name, but I'm gonna tell the story. Cause again, you ain't got no heaven or hell to put me in, and baby, I'm pretty sure we told the same thing around town. Anywho, girl. So he came in, they appointed him. They went through a long drawn process. I'm not gonna say I think they selected him. I'm not falling for these elections no more. People are selected to do what people need them to do as they see fit. That's that on every level. So he came in, and he seemed nice in the beginning or whatever, but as time went on, he started acting the same way as the other people. And basically I was just like, oh, okay, I ain't gonna bother with him. He a little, and he started giving me like googly eye, googly eye type thing. You know what I'm saying? And I just never paid him no attention. It was weird because he started popping up. Yeah, girl, he started popping up at my son basketball game, but the way he tried to play it off was like he was, yeah, Pepper, I told you we gonna ride it out today. We gonna ride this Friday out today, girl. So he started popping up at the basketball games, and I'm looking like practices and stuff. Now, mind you, one of the deacons was the coach. I'm not gonna lie, one of the deacons was the coach. He was a really nice guy. He did not give weirdo vibes or nothing like that. One thing I can say, his wife was a bit nicer than everybody else. Um, she didn't act like I wanted her husband or nothing like that. Or she did. I take that back. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. But she got nicer as time went on because she started to really see me individually. Like, she just ain't with this bullshit. She ain't like, She probably looked at me like, damn, wait a minute. My son, her son, was coached by my son. And she didn't even try to flirt with my husband. No, baby. I was, no. A lot of times I was at work and he was nice enough because he was cool with my stepdaddy. He would take my son to the house for me, to my daddy house for me, or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? So, no, ma'am. So she started to ease back, but the rest of them was looking crazy because again they were so used to people fooling and fucking with their men. So again, Pastor, he was sitting there, and then one day I never forget it. I was sitting up in the bleacher. I was sitting high, and he was sitting low, and he just looked back up at me and started smiling, and I was like, it gave me. I'm gonna tell you what it took me back to. It took me back to when I was a young girl, and my babysitter was a part of a church, and I used to have to go to her house because my child, it was just like I was an extension of her family, girl. I was over there all the time. So I had, it was a pastor, and he was really, really, you know, and I was a young girl, and it was something about him that made me run away from him, and that it just basically it clicked. I promise you, and I was just like, you know what, this man, something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So I left it like that. I really didn't see him often. I know I seen him that time. And after that, I was like, oh no, baby, we ain't got nothing to talk about outside of church. None of that with nobody. But as time went on, it was an incident. Okay, so he was a part of all that other stuff with the lady, the person I know getting put out and all that, whatever, whatever. But he tried to play a backseat role. But the thing about it was, in between that time, he had went viral for cussing behind the pulpit. Girl, with my coffee. This was during, yes, that was this girl. My little girl disturbed me came in. I was like, he trying to get me. I was like, no, ma'am. So, but this is the thing, what I had to realize was and pick up. He was the type of man that would use his position to get the things he want from women. With him, I don't like to correlate the military, but a lot of people will use that position to make people feel like they're trustworthy. I don't trust nothing out of there. Okay? I'm not one of those people, sorry. Um and then on top of that, being a pastor, two things. Okay, so basically he went viral. So he went viral for cussing or whatever. If I'm not mistaken, Larry Reed had talked about it or whatever the case may be. And it didn't really go that far. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was on Instagram. I don't know if it was on TikTok. I think I shared it. I might have shared it on TikTok just to be messy. But by the time I shared it, it was something else that he went viral for. What? Oh, I'm gonna get into that. So basically, um, another thing, yeah. So he went viral for telling people, basically telling people they need to worry about their own shit instead of worry about other people's stuff. But he was able to reel that word back in while he was behind the pulpit. So he went viral for that. Then it was, I'm trying to think of what happened. Either way, it was a meeting that the mayor of the city, him, okay, and the then police chief had at his church. And I was like, how the hell you gonna have a damn community town hall meeting at a church for with city officials? Like, it just felt like a political move. It felt like a because he is a he's an attention seeker. He gives me insecure, um that ain't never get no play. So he was able to get everything he wanted because of the positions he got in roles and authority. So this is kind of how it's moving along with him. So during that meeting, the only reason I was able to, that's why I need, I'm gonna go ahead and activate my Facebook back again. I take that back. Cause Rhoda Young Live was up in there, up in the tip. She was on the second pew, girl. She was on the second pew going live. Sitting beside, she didn't even realize she was sitting beside Pastor's wife. No, I think she did know. She was sitting beside his wife. Baby, I cannot make it up. So she's sitting beside the wife. He on the, thing or whatever, whatever. So Jafari, the same guy that approached that other pastor, he came there. He ended up coming there with a few other people. One of the girls that was in attendance was a girl that basically said Pastor was in her DM. I said, "Oh Lord Jesus!" It was a Facebook DM. It was old, and it was crazy. So the way she came about it, she came to the mic and she was speaking on it. I am gonna go reactivate my page, and I'm gonna go find the video, and I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna share it over here just to see the live, honey. The live was jumping. This was the church that I used to go to. That's what he get for opening up that church to do something that ain't had nothing to do with him. So then the guy, okay, so basically around that time, that was when the little boy was missing, the little baby Cody. And so a lot of people wanted answers. They was just, whatever, it was just a whole thing. But the three of them used that time. Girl, it was a mess. So again, the girl went up there and she was like, "Yeah, he was in my DM. He was trying to talk to me." And I don't know the correlation or the connection. She probably met him at some type of event. And that's why, see, my spidey senses kicked in early. And see, that's what he was mad. He couldn't take it. Because the thing is, though nothing ever happened. Nothing was gonna ever be able to happen. Okay. Okay. So he knew nothing would have never came up. Nothing would ever happen with me and him in life. So, but for that girl to walk into that, okay, so I'm gonna run that back. It was a meeting. It was a town hall meeting. Generally, like I have not. This is the first time I've heard of a town hall meeting. Well, not first time I've heard of it. Seen. I had never seen him host a town hall meeting of all the people. So he came up with, because this is what it was. A lot of people was having issues with the then police chief because of his actions and how the investigation went for looking for the little boy. Um, they did not like the mayor because the mayor, like, I ain't gonna lie, I call him the mute mayor. We don't have him no more, but he is like, he's really timid. He really don't, Anyway, so him, the mayor, and this pastor, the one I said I used to go to his church. They all in there having this meeting. It was a girl. She looked like she could have been at that time, she could have been every bit of in her early 20s. And she shared that this man was in her DM. She had the DM screenshot. Because, see, what happened was, I think she met him at an event. Like I said, this opened him up to all types of opportunities throughout the city. You got to think about it. It's so many people that you bump shoulders with when you become a pastor, especially for a larger church. Your friend circle changed tremendously. Just like even when you go to certain jobs, your friend circles change. So this was probably something he wasn't accustomed to because he was one of them backwoods pastors that had one of the little tiny, tiny churches in the middle of nowhere. So this is a big thing for him. So he come. This why I knew girl. So the girl come in here. She exposed him. Now, mind you, she did not just expose him in front of the church. One of the largest hood reporters. Okay, people watch her and get more information from her than the local news around here. What's in their life? Okay, baby. You know how what they said. So when she was talking, of course, eventually they shut her off. They ended up, girl, they heard and got her out of there after she said what she said, because they was really supposed to be there for the little boy. Girl, you can see him at the top on the thing like this, and he wear glasses, so you can see the reflection in his glasses of him on Facebook, just going through and taking whatever he going. He probably was going through his messages and things of that nature. And I was thinking, I really don't remember having, no type of conversations like that. If I ever had one with anyone, it was always straight to the business. I'm not checking for nobody, man. Baby, I don't want the job. You can have them. So, that was aired out. Okay. So a lot of the people that were really passionate. Okay, so the young man Jafar, so getting into BLM 757, he was one of the first people boots on the ground that was trying to help look for this young man, little baby. He got people in the community to volunteer. He pulled people together. Like he was helping other people, and they was organizing stuff to try to find a little boy. No, he don't play. Girl, Jafar be on it. Like a lot. Like, don't get me wrong. Some of his antics, I be like, all right, bro, you doing too much. But when he go and say what he got to say to another grown man, I'm here for it, because some of these grown men need to be checked by another man. And a lot of times they feel like, oh, he's less than, or he does not know nothing because he does not have the pull in the position that they have. No, that's a man checking another man. I'm here for it. She did that night. What's about? Okay, so Rhoda was sitting up there beside the pastor. Rhoda so funny, girl. She was like, it was a some type of alarm kept going off in front of the door on the wife's phone beside her, like the security one. So she's sitting back. Rhoda so knows that she got the live going. She telling us everything. She getting us the tea. So the chief did not care for BLM 757 because he told the truth. He basically said, okay, we were doing this, we were doing that. And the police was telling the citizens not to look for him. And I was like, what? So, and then not only that, they was telling the she timed it perfect. Girl, it was, I told her to listen. I text her and inbox her, please go to this church. Baby, I gave her the address. Because I was like, baby, you need to be here for this town hall. So, while Jafari was talking, okay, so none of them really cared for him. I'm gonna tell you what he ended up doing. He never crossed paths with the pastor at that time. I'm pretty sure the pastor heard about him. So at that point, when they were in the church, the police chief didn't like him because the facts came out that he was limited. He gave a limited number of residents that could look. So what happened was they initially took over the search party and told them they only invited like 40 to 50 people a day to look for the young man in the beginning. For real, they weren't going to look for him. They had already said, okay, they never did an Amber Alert or nothing like that. They always handled it as a situation of him not being around. Now, mind you, they don't have no physical evidence that that actually happened, but that's how they handled the case. And so with them Xing out the people, and we all know, we watch enough crime shows to know that you need to be there early, in the early hours, baby, every minute count, like first 48 type thing, right? So he went to the podium. No, oh, let me tell you what he said. He called the mayor Pussy. If I'm not mistaken, he called him a Punk as well. Whatever he said to the mayor, I'm pretty sure the mute mayor was not pleased. He was not pleased about what went on. They was not having it. At the door. Like, for real, I'm surprised they let him in the church. I think they let him in the church so they didn't look bad. Because again, if you think about it, he decided to have this community forum or town hall. Now, mind you, it's a few police officers in there in uniform too. I'm like, why they here? And then you already know they got the ignorant church members at this point. See, what happened was, this is another thing I noticed about the dynamic of that church. It changed when they actually got a pastor. It was like everybody was dangling from him. But me, I was still standing, I was standing aside just looking at all these people follow behind him, cater to him, wait on him hand and foot. It was like the second coming of Christ himself. And I was like, oh, this is how the church go? Child, let me get ready to get up out of here, because he's just a man. I had seen him at that basketball game. I seen who he was at that basketball game. Anyway, so he went to the podium. At that point in time, Jafar had went to the podium to speak. And at that point in time, they was like, you can ask questions. Or it had to be ask a question. Do you know he put that man out because he made a statement? He got real confrontational with Jafari and put him out and said, that's not a question, that's a statement. I said, okay, y'all ain't want this man here from the beginning, and we can tell, and that's fine. So basically he ended up leaving. Eventually, they made him leave at that point. But really, I didn't see him do anything wrong. Like, this is what happened. Before Jafari asked his question, he had a Bible verse. And that Bible verse pissed the pastor off in his church. Because realistically, he looking at him like, nigga, who are you to use the word on me? And I was like, well, damn, this man is this far from, it's the Delulu for me. So anyway, so he used the Bible verse in his opening and then asked the question. And the pastor got mad and was like, F that. This girl was laughing. But see, I'm going to tell you something. The day after when my stepdaddy, no, I'm gonna even bring it back. These folks wrote me a 4-page letter when I left their church. I'm gonna find that letter. And I was telling one of my old friends about it. And he was like, oh, that was their way of telling you couldn't come back. I was like, bitch, don't nobody want to go to their damn church. That's why I left. But anyway, I'm going to find that letter. And I'm gonna post that letter. I am going to do my due diligence and really look for that letter. It's probably under some paper somewhere. But so they put Jafari out, which I thought was crazy. And I was like, why'd y'all put this man out? If anything, you could have had him step aside and move to the next person. So I'm like, y'all already had it set up. Y'all wanted him gone. But again, the icing on the cake was when that girl came in and told that he tried to holler at her. Okay. So boom, that live went viral. When I tell you it went viral, everybody shared the live. I shared it to my page because it needed to be seen. I don't know who that is. So it went viral. Basically, he went viral, losing his cool with that man. But I was like, why are you so angry? And so, why you mad? But the thing is, you mad because you lost control of this situation. This is the thing. Church and state has been separated for so long. Like, how do you try to bring the people into you trying to get church members? Don't nobody want to come in here. I don't care how much you raise and start putting doorknobs and new light fixtures in this raggedy motherfucker. It's still raggedy. So he went okay. So that's why I said ever since he was nasty to me, he went viral he went viral twice. The same pastor, I promise you. So that ain't the end of the story. After all that went on, Rhoda took calls. So she started taking calls, and that's kind of when I went and said something, whoop de woo about him. Oh yeah, he went. When I tell you it went viral for the wrong reasons, it was wild. And the funny thing is, when Rhoda went, and she a hood reporter, so she ain't Channel 3. She said she's Channel 9 news. Okay, so Channel 9 is different. She hood. She tell everything the way it is. If she see you out of order, she be like, "Look, this is his dad. Woo de woo." It's a different vibe. So she was like, from the look of this, it looks like Pastor. It's a little rah rah. What she said? A little something, little hip. But his wife, she a little, she lay back and don't get, she more reserved and act like she the type of person that sit there and act like she don't know nothing going on, basically. Because at the end of the day, she probably was trained a certain way from whatever church she went to. And that's the thing, I'm not knocking nobody's church, but baby, don't invite me nowhere. That's all I'm saying, baby. I ain't the one. Grips ain't the one, the two, or the three. Okay, no ma'am. It will go down right there. So basically, she noticed the dynamic. She noticed. That's why I wanted her there, because when I was able to continue to tell her certain things about my experience there, it made sense. And she was like, "Oh." Mm. So she took the phone call. She let people call in. Baby, I jumped on the line quick and started talking my ish about him. I wonder if that live is still up. I don't know. I'm going to have to go see, because that was around that time. And basically, I just shared that it was no longer a good place for me to be, because the thing is, if there's no true leadership, if there's no growth anymore, it's time for you to go. And I know a lot of times when you go to churches, you say, "I will go to another one and I will continue to do whatever, whatever, whatever." I did. I went on about my business. Um, it was a situation, and I explained to her, it's like the pupil surpassed the pastor. Because see, one thing about it, a man cannot confine me into a thing or a mind or a state, whatever the case may be, unless I volunteer and be a part of the foolishness. I don't want to be a part of that mess. But some people, you got to think about it. It takes a special person to be in certain positions. You have to be with the foolery tent. Yeah, you got to be with it 24/8. Hell, everybody get to take a damn break. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. I would scroll up and down and laugh and have a good time. But after a while, I need a motherfucking break because there are things I want to do with my life. So to be in that environment on a regular basis, it was very draining and it was not productive at all. So she noticed it and she was like, because me and her we talked on the outside of that. Now this is the tea that came up in the chat. See, that's but let me go ahead and activate my page back, baby. I'm missing everything in the 757. She be getting the tea all over. Anyway, so there was a lady in the chat on it was, I'm not sure if it was the church chat when all the foolishness was going on, or if it was in her chat when she started taking calls and started opening up her platform to other people and just having a conversation or making statements about what happened. Man, it was a lady that came up there and she was in the chat and she basically shared how her friend had been allegedly SA'd by him. Hold that thought. Say it again. Yes. I'm about to drink my last little sip. I didn't even bring me no water in here. Girl, I might drink me a Corona right quick. This is wild. I got one Corona in here. So basically, the girl, okay, remember I was saying, and this gonna make a lot of sense. Yes, ma'am. It's gonna make a lot of sense. So what ended up happening was I told you it opened him up to a lot of opportunities. That's why I say you gotta be careful. So what happened was with him being a pastor of this church, he became an executive, no, was it? No, of he's a part of another nonprofit in the area. I'm not gonna say his position, but I will describe the organization. He, let's just say he got a leadership opportunity to be a part of. She didn't. I ain't even get into that part. Let me get into that part. So the friend named the location it occurred, and the friend also dropped tea and said that they would not even take a report. All that went down in the live. When I tell you, I'm gonna go back over there, girl. Sometimes it could be a lot. It could be a lot being on, they didn't believe her. And that's why I said when I seen how he was moving, I was like, oh no, I gotta get away from these people. Because and that's why when I seen a video of what happened to that young girl, I was like, girl, run. It's only gonna get worse. Because I can imagine how all them years that young lady was treated, that I said that I knew she was Deacon such and such daughter, illegitimate daughter, but she was a beautiful person and she had a beautiful soul. And I was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? I can imagine, people accepted it because they had to see her and she never left with her daughter at the church. But it's nowhere in the world I would have kept bringing my daughter there. But So yeah, the friend told it, and we was just like, yo, this is that. We were like, oh my gosh. And I was saying, and I told her when she did the calling. Okay, so it was on the other live. So when she did the call-ins, I mentioned it. I said, yeah, it was a lady in your uh live saying this is that happened to him. I mean, her friend in a certain area. And that's when I said something about the organization he's tied to. The organization that he's tied to is women and children that need housing. It's like a DV situation. It's a DV organization. He didn't even need to be over the church. He don't need to be over no women. Not no vulnerable women that just went through nothing. What? Man, I said that drink so quick. And I promise you, shortly after that, they ain't want that person at their property no more. I don't care. They didn't need to be there no more. They needed to cut ties with anything dealing with you people. And if anything, if they didn't move, it helped them move on. So everything happens the way it need to happen. True, he used God to pray on them. There you go. He wasn't gonna pray on me. If anything, baby, he was gonna get that work. He was gonna get that work. Cause see, he thought I was just now he knew at that time I had already completed my master's degree. He knew I was a single parent and all of the things. But when he knew I had a mouth on me, girl, you should see how that man will walk around and frolic around that church and look at me and walk past me like a punk. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, because nobody is running up behind you and praising you. Baby, I'll never do that. Because you're not God. Yeah, he was rolling his ass, everything. I said, go, girl. Get it, girl. But anyway, so oh, he was about to go viral again. Let me tell you what happened, girl. Hold up. I ain't got nothing else to sip on. I did make me some tea, but I don't feel like getting up and going to get it. It's in the kitchen. I made my tea and my coffee at the same time. Baby, let me tell you something. That man hell on earth. That woman stupid enough to deal with it because you know what? She is so invested. Everybody ain't invested in that foolishness. And everybody is not going to condone that foolishness. And you know what the sad part is? I've been around people that have been pastors' wives. And a lot of them just don't want to do it. And I don't blame them. People get mad because just because it's just everybody ain't willing to play church. Everybody is not around here playing church. That's all. Don't nobody want to play church. It's too much going on and it's too much at stake. But anyway, so back to him. This is my experience. And I got documentation, baby. I don't talk about nothing that I ain't seen. And that's why I did a video. And I'm gonna tell you something, girl. Let me tell y'all, when all this stuff went on after I left that, I never saw him in person. I think I seen him at the hospital when my stepdad passed away. He was on the floor crying like a little punk, um, being fake. And I think he preached his eulogy. And it was crazy because my stepdaddy told me, he said, I don't even want to be buried in this church. Because I was able to help him see. He said, he see through it, but he had been there so long. Nothing was gonna change about his life, whatever. And he was on his way out of here and he was cool. He was just like, anyway. it was a lot of characteristics in him that he had a son that act just like him. And his matter of fact, his son used to come up in there and twirl around and act like him too. So yeah. But I never stepped foot back in there. And I was like, I would never, I had already left, but I knew I would never go back again. But when what's the name went live and showed that, and I just thought about the way they, how they treated me and acted and all that stuff. And I was like, I knew something was going to happen. So, needless to say, he went viral twice. The first time he went viral, he ended up on, I want to say Mad Church, something. I want to say it was on Instagram. It went viral. Larry Reed had shared the clip back in, I want to say August of 2020 on that first one. The second time he went viral on Facebook for being nasty and putting a young man out of his church, BLM 757, the same one that went into the church to confront the pastor that embarrassed that young lady that was pregnant and made her apologize in front of his congregation. So basically, the next time, this the other one. So it's 2025. So this had to have happened either at the end of 2023 or the beginning of 2024, child. I would have to go pull up the documentation. I had did a video on TikTok. I think I made it private. You know what? I might open it back up because since then the charges had been dropped for him. But I wanted to. Hold on. Let me get my drink because I want to tell y'all my theory of what happened because I was paying attention. Hold on. Let me lay this down right quick. I'll be right back. Oh shit. Okay, I'm back. I had to get my black chai tea. I done laid the whole phone down. Yes, I did. Cause I ain't wanted to tip and fall. Black girl, I love it. Um, and the farmers market around here, their blend is so delicious. I just can't describe it. It's so delicious. Um, it tastes because it's there's they got the loose tea, and theirs tastes way better than like the other ones. Anyway, so getting into him, so he got arrested one night. Yeah, I love it. I love it. So he got arrested. This same pastor, the one I said went viral. Yeah, it's a different taste. And then I put it in um the little ball, put my loose tea in, and it's just I don't know. I think I put too much water in it this time. It's okay. I'm gonna drink it though. So this same man, he got arrested. He got arrested, and shortly after that, the charges got dropped. But I did it. What's the name video on him on TikTok, and I ended up closing it because, oh yeah, he got arrested. Girl, he got a mugshot and everything. I might have to upload it over here. But what's his name? Oh, let me put his name in here. I'm gonna see if it come up. Yep, this him right here. Cause I ain't make it up. Hold on, can't hold it. Let me hold it. It say a man of the cloth. Mm-hmm. In trouble with the law. Yeah, that was 2023. This was September. Let me open it up. I'm gonna read the article right quick. Now all the charges were dropped. So every time he Google his name, this is what's gonna come up about him. But because the charges are dropped, don't mean it ain't happened. You got to think about it: the pool, the connections, and all of the things. The previous police chief, he was cool like that. You remember that? Where you see it at? You seen it on the newspaper? I forgot you. Yeah, you probably got that on the news, girl. So it says Pastor King was arrested in July on serious charges following a domestic dispute with his 25-year-old son. So basically, he was accused of pointing a pum pum at him. No, hitting him, pointing it at his son and hitting him in the head with it. So again, this is the same man. Oh, let me hear y'all the tea though. That's why I would have got my motherfucking tea, girl. We gonna talk about it. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. This right up the road. Like I said, I ain't scared of nobody. I ain't never scared, and that's why he know leave me the fuck. Girl, I messed around. And after I did the TikTok video and talked about him, I seen him in the grocery store. He was on the phone gossiping like a girl. And he pulled that phone down. He looked at me and I looked at him. He got the fuck on, got what he got in the store and hit the self checkout and hit the door. And he was by himself. You ain't above nobody, buddy. Anyway, the crazy thing is he was charged in July with that. Do you know it did not hit the news until September? Yeah. So this is the same one I said went viral for cussing behind the pulpit. This the one I said I used to go to his church. And when they selected him as a pastor, because they took a long time to select who they want to select and who they can control and who they can get to do their dirty work. Oh, he was so nasty, girl. Oh my God, he had just whew. And I was like, let me get away from these people. Cause it's gonna be a situation. And baby, when I looked up, the first time he went viral in August of 2020, during you know what, he was preaching, and they called him. They didn't call him the cussing pastor because we already had a cussing pastor. I forgot what they called him. So it went around. I think Larry Reed had talked about him in one of his clips back in August. And then he went viral on Facebook with this situation when he was, yay. That's why I said I don't understand how these people had the audacity to have that girl. If anything, they need to be apologizing for the stuff they be doing every week. And went viral again for what he did. And he had that so-called town hall meeting in Facebook. And then he has a mugshot for what he allegedly done to his son. This is the crazy thing. I don't think it's alleged. I think if you got enough money, and it's another thing, if that person don't show up, it ain't no case. And as long as you type with the Commonwealth attorney, they're not going to pick it up. So I know he got to know the little cockeyed dude that's the Commonwealth attorney over here. Anytime he had the police chief at the daggone thing from when the little boy went missing, because that was the same Commonwealth attorney that tried that case. I know he knew him from behind the scenes. Ain't nobody stupid. What's that cockeyed man name? I don't know. He be wearing these glasses. I can't think. Anyway. So all this, it was about 3 charges that they charged him with. I said, so he ain't do none of it. So he, you know what I'm saying? It was under wraps. They handled it. You got to think about a lot of these people that were attorneys in the area just got appointed to judges as well in this city. And I want to say 2022, certain people got. Yeah, I'm gonna find him. Hold on. What's his name? His name Anton Bell. That's his name. The cockeyed guy. He's the Commonwealth. I think he's still a Commonwealth attorney. Yep, he still is. You can't really see it. You got to see him. Hold up. Oh, this is a good one. This might be it. This ain't really. They gave him time to fix his eye. He don't even look like that now. He older. That must be an old picture of him. I can't find no good cockeyed picture of him. Girl, you gotta see him in person. But anyway, it be rolling like nettles. He got a netter eye. But so this is how much I pay attention, and this is why there's certain things I just don't participate in. But anyway, so let me tell you something. Them 4 walls is just them 4 walls. Baby, when you able to really sit and commune and get a word, baby, I done went and looked the son name up. Come on, somebody. Church. Come to find out, this young man was driving without a license. Who else knew he ain't have a license? So if he close with the chief over here, you know he close with the chief in the neighboring city. Right. You know during 2023, they were still using those cameras to track your cars because it became legal, to do it, right? That's how they was able to track people down and know what they do and yada yada yada. Okay. The everyday citizens. Now, mind you, the same day that it was dismissed, why the son had been pulled over in between that time, and his court date was scheduled the same day in another city that the daddy charges got dropped. Okay. And at that time, it sounds like the Commonwealth was not interested in picking them charges up. Come on, Wi-Fi, don't go nowhere. Stay with me. ain't to be played with. I went and found the information. Mm-hmm. I had it screenshotted and everything, girl. I was like, wait a minute. Cause I had went and looked the young man name up. I ain't lying. I ain't lying. I ain't lying. These the charges right here. I'm gonna show you the charges. And you see that date where it say September? Let me click into it. Let's get into it. Hold on, that might not be the same one. Oh, that's somebody. Hold on. Okay, the top one, him. Yeah, that's him. And you see at the top where it say 913, and it say final preliminary. That's when they closed it, and they know process. I gotta find another city. I don't even see it no more. Wait a minute. And that's interesting. Oh no, not that one. This one. Wait a minute. I don't even see it no more. That's crazy. Cause he was pulled over in Newport News, and now it's not even up here. That's crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. Let me see if that's any of my old screenshots. Cause I do got a screenshot collection. That young man was pulled over. Mm. I'm gonna leave that alone, girl. But I'm going to see if I got my screenshots though. Why won't show? I'm gonna have to go back and look. I know I had screenshot. Oh, here it is. I got a screenshot. Clock it. They took it out the database, but I got my screenshot. Newport News, see that? And see that date? I couldn't find that date no more. And I'm glad I screenshotted it for that gentleman that they lied. Clock it. You see where it says 9/13? He had to go to the same court date. I can't open it up because I ain't screenshot everything. But that's the date that the son had to go to court in a different city. And it's no longer in the database. Let me show you. I just went and looked it up. But yeah, when he went viral and he was on LRL and the people got mad because I went in the comments and I was like, oh, that's Pastor such and such church. Baby, they trolled my damn page for a long time. They were dropping Bible verses and scriptures everywhere. I'm about to pull this up. I just showed this to y'all. Now, mind you, it didn't show nothing for 2023. I'm going to show y'all. This is the current database for this young man. Everything in there is from 2021. They don't even have the 2023 case in the database where they pulled him over and made him go to court the same day that his daddy had to go to court across town. I'm about it in real life. I ain't to be played with. I knew I had a screenshot of it. Something told me the Holy Spirit told me down upon me bones. Take a screenshot. And I did. That young man would not even be able to prove what them people had did to him. Yeah. Again, the daddy had to go to court on what day, class? Here's some at the top. 9/13. And put the hearing up there. 9/13. See that down at the bottom where it say hearing? That's him. That's the daddy. For the charges. Let me get my screenshot. This is the one that was erased out of the database. And it says 2023. And his son had to go to court the same day across town. Who else knew he was driving without a license? Improper driving. That was the reason. That was the probable cause to pull him over. They already knew he ain't had no license. And it happened on 8/19, right before his daddy had to go to court for them charges. You see why them folks ain't like me? Because I ain't no motherfucking fool and I ain't no puppy. Anyway, so that's the one I was telling y'all they was sitting up at the ball game. This is before all this foolishness came out about him smiling and batting his eyes at me. Nigga, please. Ah! Yes, but that's why I keep screenshots and documentation, ladies and gentlemen. Class, what we learned today? If there is no documentation of it happening, it didn't happen. Reporting live from my room, minding my business and minding other folks' business at the same goddamn time. This is why you cannot pay me to be in nobody's church, CULT congregation like setting. I ain't the one, right? Yeah, but I seen the pay, and then that's the thing. How he gonna prove it? Should I send him a copy, y'all? Cause it's no process. Cause that mean it can be open. Okay. Child, I gotta go ahead and make this sea. I'm gonna make sea moss. I got them little plastic jars I can send out instead of my glass ones. But see, this is the thing. When it came out on the news, I knew for a fact it had to be him that gave it to the reporters, baby. You got to pay attention to how it's dropped on the news, right? Because for real, if you think about it, from July to September, nobody knew about it. So at some point, now mind you, I'm assuming he didn't want that young man in his house no more. So I'm assuming between July and August, he probably wasn't at his house. None of that, whatever the case may be, he wasn't welcome there no more. Clearly showed him he was no longer welcome. But this is the thing. Who else knew? If nobody else, your parents know you ain't got no license. Because last times at 10, that's something you'll tell your mama, you'll tell your daddy, you'll confide in them and let them know. Right? Hold on. Wait a minute. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. Because I'm trying to figure out this son, because I know he got kids by his previous relationships. Or is this her son that had the big ass mouth that used to be at the church talking trash, the one that they thought was slow? Or they say he was allegedly a little delayed, but he wasn't a delay. He had too much mouth. I wonder if it was that one. Anyway, y'all seen that. Y'all seen it. I just so happened to be nosy enough to take a screenshot and went back. That's it. That's it. I'm gonna tell you why I was nosy like that. Because he kept getting away with the stuff he do. Because see, people will continue to do things and they will pile up, and when God expose you, and I ain't preaching to nobody, he was supposed to slow his tail down when he started getting exposed and he started going viral and things of that nature. But this is the same behavior that he has displayed piece by piece in other places. But the thing is, it get turned up when you in your home and your environment. He ain't about to let none of his children disrespect him, get out of place, whatever they had going on. Okay. This is who he is. This is who he's been. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's in you come out of you. You know what I'm saying? And Child, let me tell you something. Around that time when when Rhoda opened up the phone lines and I was on the phone and she said what she said. She was talking about the situation. I said, baby, I heard he had a pacemaker. I said, but he keep fucking with me. I'm gonna make that shit jump up out his chest. You heard me? This is why, ladies and gentlemen, I stay at home. I mind my business, baby. Y'all see me, I get up here and get a little messy every now and then, talk a little trash. You know what I'm saying? Go slide into other people's lives, have a good laugh, have a good time. Cause baby, y'all get to fuck around with me, baby. Let me tell you something. One thing my stepdaddy always told me, he said the same thing that make you laugh will make you motherfucking cry. So when he was around there laughing and y'all was fucking with me and judging me and trying to run me up out your motherfucking church, bitch, I'm the same one that can make you cry and lose everything. So that I did all this started out, we was just having a good time, baby. We was talking about animals and stuff. I don't even know how we got to talking. Oh, I did bring up that man, that piece of a man that tried to make that girl feel bad. See, this is the thing. When I look at that, it reminds me because I was very young when I had my first child. And I did not stay in a church because from a young child I learned the behaviors and the mannerisms of the people and the things that come with the congregations. The judgment came from the community more than anything. So I know what that's like. But that was 30 years ago. We talking 30 years ago. His intentions on that young lady was so egregious that it triggered me. And I have other friends on my TikTok platform that felt the same way. They was like, "Oh, H, no, we need to have a panel. We need to talk about it." Right? You said they got what? And have more skeletons than a fish. Girl, come on, somebody. And that's why I was like, they did that to try to tear that girl down. Ain't no way that ain't got nothing to do with no religion. I ain't seen nobody. But the funny thing, one of my friends over there, she said, is that Jehovah's Witness? I said, I don't know. And she was telling me because she was a part of a Jehovah's Witness community and they would do that within the congregation. And she shared with me bits and pieces. She said that she was a part of it. And then she said after a while, baby, she had got sucked in so quick and so fast. She said, girl, she heard got up out of there because of how it was going. And she said that was one of the things that went on. You missed a lot, Dean, girl. You got to run this one back. This right here, baby. I started talking about Pastor, and we messed around and stumbled upon some new findings about the things that he done did and how he got out of that damn case. We broke that here live, and I pulled up the shots, and this video stand up, and I'm gonna stand my ground. And one of them vultures fuck with me. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, it just reminds you, and it did not feel good. And in those moments, I had to press through and persevere some of the most nasty people in my life. But the thing is, the older I got, it was grown ass women that were the worst. and did the most judging, as if they have not been a woman and don't know what it is to be a woman, a young woman, a child that went through some things. You feel me? Oh yeah, they know who I am, Dean, and that's the thing. They knew I was cut from a different cloth. And not only that, my stepdaddy alone ain't play no games. Let me tell you something, baby. He'll go sing in the choir, go to the Saturday morning brunch. He'll cook, baby. He's still gonna go to the shot house and he gonna go work. Okay. He did not fake the funk because he knew who he was in his walk, and he knew again he will be one of the people say, "Them people ain't got no heaven or hell. Put me in." He gonna live his life, and he lived every freaking day in his life. That didn't make him less than anybody else. He was right at that church. Okay, I noticed society is trying to bring women back down, and as a woman we need to stand up, absolutely. And you know what I did notice recently? I noticed, and that I was told that year 9, which is the year we're in now, is around surrounding around male role models or whatever, things of that nature. I think it's a lot of things gonna come out about these men. Now, I know 8 exposed a lot of people, but now gonna be a difference. It's gonna be a different thing to see like a, a good glimpse of these men. But when it came to when it comes to a lot of the organizations, I noticed that a lot of organizations are overlooking women a lot more in leadership. And it kind of reminds me of how they say in the Bible, in a lot of organizations, they don't think women should lead, in certain places, and that's cool, that's okay. But I look forward to them taking all the responsibility of how they f the thing up. Let them do it. Uh, don't call me. Don't call nobody that I know, because we not available and we don't give a damn. You don't give a f. We don't give a damn. They putting women down, but don't have a problem me being Pepper. You know what, girl? Because they all want to be together, and I'm fine with them being together. But leave me out of it. Leave me alone. Let me be happy. Let me be happy in my decisions. You know what? The last time tried to go into relationship or any type of agreement with a guy, it taught me a lot about myself. And it was a tricky situation because I was too transparent about the thing. That's just like, I'm transparent in a lot of my aspects of my life. Some things, of course, I'm going to hold on to because you don't ever tell everybody all your business. But because that person was a so-called friend from many years ago, it was just like they tried to use that as ammunition. Yeah, let them have each other. I'm okay with it. Who is that said early 2025? It's about the money. Count me in, friend. That's it. That's all. I don't care. Like, this is the thing. That was a tricky situation because it was supposed to be a friendship that turned into kinship. Because my stepdaddy told me years ago, he said friendship can turn into kinship. And another thing he told me, he said one of his sisters was friends with that guy, and that was the guy she was married to. And I looked at him and I was like, oh, That was his way of like, friend, baby. When I tell you I learned, a lot of these men would have no vision, no purpose, and no existence in life if it wasn't for strong, intelligent women in their life. And what I started to find was these men would then take what they learned from those said women and then try to lead another woman. But the thing is, the moment you close that door and it ain't no more access, it ain't no more growth. So they stop growing and their woman stop growing as well, because it's like, I hate to say they want your light. People say that all the time, but it's similar. It's something like that. You know what I'm saying? So just being careful and very mindful of what you settle for. But in essence, they act like, the men kind of act like, oh, I ain't settling for this and I ain't settling for that. But in actuality, they like women that can't make decisions for themselves. They just want you to be needy. Uh, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of that I've come across. And this person would say to me, "Oh, well, that was what you went through in your past," and da 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 da. And I'm like, "Baby, this is going on in front of my eyes. I don't know who the hell he think, Muffin. Who you thought you was talking to?" And the moment you thought you was gonna try to tear me down because I didn't give it, and you ain't give her fruit. Okay. Anyway, don't want you to be in charge of anything. Don't want you to be able to be in charge of your own finances. I have literally met dudes, and I'm not saying I dated them or nothing like that, but I knew them, or whatever, growing up. And this one particular dude, good job, make good money. He was telling one of his friends about finding a, doing, about trying to PI pimp this other lady that ain't had that much. And I'm like, how do you get afforded this type of life? Okay? Successful person. What do you gain to tear that woman down? I just was so confused. And I was like, it really clicked that a lot of these mofos just sick. And it made sense because I came across a lot of sick characters growing up, even being young, like that sick grown man at the corner store that would say something they ain't got no business saying. Or like being in your 20s and this man about 60 saying something crazy to you, knowing he ain't got he know he ain't got it no more. And he need to leave you alone too. So, and yes, a lot of them are intimidated because at the end of the day, you're not needy, you're not reliant enough, and you're not codependent. See, I've been around enough codependent women in my life to write a whole case study of what to do and what not to damn do as a grown ass woman. And a lot of people just get stuck. And that's the whole end game for some of the dudes. They want you to get stuck so you can't leave them. It's sad. And I had to tell, I told my oldest son, I said, let me tell you something. I'd rather be alone by myself and figure out how I'm going to make things happen than to one be with somebody that's gonna degrade me and talk to me crazy any given time because he feel like he can. Two, for one to feel like he can control every aspect of my life when I don't agree. Because as long as all my needs are met, I'm okay. And I had to really tell him that because a lot of people will get caught up in materialistic things, but it's nothing like having peace and joy. You know what I'm saying? Like the type of joy that you will meet a stranger and they be mad, ready to fight you because you ain't mad. That's the type of joy I'm talking about. That's the type of joy I want in my life, and I love to keep having in my life. I literally just seen. Oh my God, I've been up for 3 hours. I gotta get ready to get off. My phone getting ready to die. This phone getting ready to die. I'm gonna let it charge some more. I literally seen a content creator. Yeah, Pepper getting ready to get off. We're gonna carry her on. We're gonna carry her on out to her out her work day. I literally seen a girl. It was so crazy to me. Like it's a content creator. I followed her on TikTok. Very educated young woman. So many different accolades because she's an athlete as well. Had some of the greatest opportunities. Very successful in being an athlete, scholar, all of the things. Right. The men that came in her life messed her up. Like literally, I just seen her have a mental breakdown. She was literally posting videos, and I would not dare repost her videos up here because all I could do was go into prayer for her. Because that last dude she dealt with, it was something different about him. Because she has a daughter, and when I first seen her, she was basically in a situation of trying to get her daughter back. Something happened. I forgot all the details. It was almost a year and a half ago. She got her daughter back. She grew a great support system on TikTok. And I did kind of see a shift in her. And she got with this dude after she got her daughter. It was just like, and I'm going to say, in my opinion, it was as if she did not need the sisterhood that she had created, right? Anymore, because these women, men, whoever came and rallied behind her. They helped her with her daily expenses. They provided spiritual guidance. We help one another, do whatever. But I still know that she was in there wanna end, need an end phase in her life. And that's okay because she a little younger than me. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I've been there, done it. I ain't trying to judge her on it. That's cool. Man, when she got with him, she literally stopped making TikToks. I don't know if she wasn't like really making money on TikTok like that or whatever she did. She used to go live often, and when she went live, people supported her. They supported her a lot. So much so she was staying in like a motel room. She was walking. She literally got put out and put off the property of where she used to live to where she lost everything. So she was like walking miles in sandals. People started supporting. They sent her some money. She was able to get her a pair of little cheap sneakers, a better pair of little shoes better than what she had. Probably wasn't even sneakers because it was a summer. A little bit more support, but with her being an athlete, she was able to walk those miles. You see what I'm saying? She had it in her because of what she accomplished. Okay. So she made it through her situation. She was in a motel. Um, she got it together to where she was able to get an apartment. So my thing is this: for her to get an apartment, she was able to, show that this is what she was making, this is that. She stopped making videos for a whole year. And I'm like, dang. I said, in my head, I already knew because I've been there, done that. I said, she done got, this dude, this something going on. I couldn't put my hand on it because we never really knew who he was. She was talking about him every now and then, but boom, she came up there and she was talking cash shit about this dude. She started talking about him, his mama, his whole family, and how he had her effed up. I was like, what you want us to do with that? Because my thing is this: you should have been still reaching out, Muffin. Like, you should have still been over here. One thing you shouldn't have never did was give up your apartment and move in with him. Y'all could have continued dating and been crazy about each other from a distance. And she was like, oh well, I planned on marrying him. Da 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 da. She's the only thing was, she said, I'm glad I got to live with him because other people do it the other way around, and then boom, you stuck. Da 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 da. And she was basically saying the good thing was she ain't got no baby. Da 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 da. Woo, 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 by him, but she still got her daughter, and her daughter has special needs, so she has to really really care for her. But she got sick. She came to live and talked about that, and I was like, why is you telling us now? Like, I ain't, look, I'm sorry, but I ain't sorry because, girl, we ain't seen you in a year. You know what I'm saying? So she came back, and whatever she had going on, it was a medication she couldn't afford. Whoopty woo. I don't know. Something happened. Whatever the case may be. Okay, fast forward. She posted a video about getting a car. I was like, okay, that's what's up. And then boom, she started posting all these videos that did not make any sense. When I tell you, I was like, who is this? I was just like, and they was going viral. These videos were going viral over there, but she was not making any sense whatsoever because people was in the comments was like, Pooh, we want to help you, but we don't know what to do. Um, and I remember in the video that she popped up in, and the dude, like, when it got bad with her and old boy, she was just like, he said that her and her, well, because they was on the brink of breaking up, but the lease was almost up to where, for her to move. And I was like, she shouldn't have never let her apartment go. She had her own place. So now you have to move your daughter again. He told her, I guess when things was getting bad between him and her, was like, you and yours need to find somewhere to go. And she was like, that's fine, whatever like that. But for months up until the lease was almost up, whatever agreement they had financially, he was supposed to take care of the rent. She took care of all the secondary stuff. He couldn't even keep his end of the bargain. She let this dude get so close to her. She messed up and told him too much. She told him about what she had saved. And she, when she came and started, doing her videos, she was just talking about how her granny used to tell her don't never let left hand do with the right hand, doing whatever case may be. So that was one of those situations. And he, to me, in my opinion, I feel like he worked her. Because after a while, he couldn't pay this one. He had this and he had that. And then she also mentioned that he had 5 jobs in 1 year. You should have been able to see that about him before moving in. But anyway, so I'm gonna have to check, child, see if she's still in jail, child. She in jail. She was in jail, but she just checked out mentally. It was sad. It was just so sad to see her. See, she's still in here, child. I hope they got her on the ward where she can get some help. But it's just sad to see her go out like that. And the only thing I could think of was like what went on with her. And I don't know, she could have already had some type of issue that we did not know about that left her fighting for her daughter the first time. But maybe we finally found out what really went on, possibly, allegedly, from those videos of her rambling and saying stuff sporadically throughout the city. Um, yeah. So I just seen, and it's been other situations where I've seen how a dude can make you lose everything, including your mind. Um, and one of the things she said before she, start, deteriorating, she said, if the only thing I could say this time next year is I ain't got a man, she said, I'm fine with that. Baby, I fell out. I said, there go my girl. She coming back. And then I don't know what happened to her. I don't know what happened, y'all. We got to keep her lifted in prayer. Let me see if she's still in there. Yeah, I got to see if she's still in there, y'all. I hope they got her out. She needs some help. I hope she was able to get whatever help she needed while she was there. I can't find it. But yeah, I'm all over the place. I'm talking about a little bit of everything today, but I don't know. Just say no. Oh no, they ain't gonna live off. I don't think I'm at the right website. But yeah, I go check and see. I said, Lord, I hope somebody get her phone and just delete all them damn videos. I hope ain't nobody in the screen recorded them because that's the kind of stuff they can use against you. I just, it's like now she back in the same situation before she got with him. And she even admitted, she said, when I was dealing with him, when I met him, I was going through my case. You said, what church was this? That I was talking about the man? You went back and watched the other part? Oh, Dean. The story I was telling all the events of, well, yeah, the one I was going to. I'm not going to name it. I'll send it to you. I'm going to send it. I'm going to send the one that I was going to. I'm going to tell you about that. But, okay, so I sent that. But that's, yeah, that's one thing I did not say it, um, because I don't know why. I just didn't. I mean, it happened years ago. A lot of the stuff, but see, the thing is, it's always a reoccurring thing with this man. Is basically what I was getting at, and he's just a hot mess. But I said, maybe you can't even see the charges no more. I said, oh. And so how can that person prove what had happened? That's all I'm getting at. Baby. Any mayor or anybody in a high position hate to see a person like me coming, because I will fuck the whole thing up and overturn the whole organization. I'm not gonna play with people like that. You can't pick and choose who's holy and who's not. And you cannot decide to play God in somebody's life. You can't do that. That's one thing you can't do. But what he did was wrong. He was wrong, and he was not held accountable for what he did. Okay, a mug shot is not enough. A slap on the wrist is not enough. That was wrong. That was you. So just imagine. And people trying to make, oh, that was just a family issue. That was a domestic. No, he's a tyrant. I've been said the man was a tyrant prior to this happening. But people pick and choose, what they want to believe about their master and stuff like that. And I guess this is it. I'm trying to figure out what old girl was charged with. But yeah, I'm here to get up off here. My phone gonna die. I don't want my phone to die on me. That way I can go ahead and work on uploading this video here. I'm gonna keep it up here, baby, because we breaking news, breaking news. This is why I don't title my lives like that, because my thing is this: if I wanted to blast him, I could have been blasted him. I just like to use examples of everyday people, of like, so think about when with the young lady and the incident with her at her church. This is what goes on everywhere. You gonna watch it? Okay. Yeah, but that man is something different. I don't put the mug shot up. You can read the screen about him. But I did send you the information. And he did that to his own son. He did that to his own son, and he got away with it. So, with that being said, um, they protected him. They protected his mess. That was wrong. That was wrong. But I peeped the play, and I be telling people, baby, I don't proclaim to be no physical gangster, but I'm a spiritual gangster, and I'd rather be a spiritual gangster any day. Now I'm gonna protect myself, my home, and my investments, but you don't get to just do what you want to do to people. And like I said, somebody really close and near and dear to me, their goal was to tear that person down, make them homeless, and take their deposit. And then I embarrassed the fuck out of them in front of their shareholders, their board members, their own prominent businesses in the community that donated heavily to their church. And they were so nasty over $900. I would have had fun. I wish we could have went to court, baby. Because every certified document was sent, and I got a copy. I might even still have copies of the certified mail seals. I ain't mind paying to do that. I didn't mind, because that person didn't deserve that. and you gonna get that work from me every time. Let me go, y'all. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. See, that's why I just be sewing, baby. I be trying to cut up. I be trying to cut up, but it's Friday, and I be sitting here and I ain't had nothing to do. But I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Y'all stay safe, be warm, all of that. I love y'all. I'm gonna talk to y'all later.